Okay, Unbound ones, welcome. Welcome to this, the Unbound Writing Masterclass that I'm going to be sharing with you this evening. Hey to everyone who's joining. Mandy, hi, good to have you with us. I'm going to share my screen so that we can go into the slides. Can I move that down a bit? There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can all see that. Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping you can still see me. It's kind of you just have to trust when you share your screen on Zoom that everyone can still see and hear you. Brilliant. We will get started. Okay. I've never used the Zoom webinar aspect before, so this is new for me. It's very exciting. Okay, so the Unbound Writing Masterclass that I'm going to be sharing with you this evening, just in terms of logistics, we'll be here for no longer than an hour. Yeah, it should be about an hour. We'll see how it goes. I can get excited when I'm talking, so I will try and be as concise as possible. So what we're going to be covering tonight or this afternoon or whenever you're watching it are the 4 specific stages of writing the book you're really here to write. And we're going to be talking a bit more. I mean, if you've been part of the Unbound Writing Challenge, then all week really we've been talking about the book you're really here to write and how that's kind of different from just any book that you might be writing. But we're going to be talking about like the 4 specific stages of that. So this masterclass is really going to give you the bigger picture, like the overall picture of the process of writing your book, because I think it's really helpful to have that when you're starting out, so you can kind of tune into what stage you're at the moment. I'm going to be sharing how to write in a way that makes the most powerful impact, because I know, as an Unbound one, you really want to be, it's not enough just for any book out there. You want your book and your writing to have the most powerful impact. So we're going to talk about what needs to happen in order for your words to make that impact. Towards the end of the masterclass, I'm going to be opening the doors to the Unbound Writing Mastermind. So if you are feeling like you want more support on your writing journey, then I'm going to be talking very briefly about that. You may want to hop into the mastermind and join me in that. And there will be time for Q&A. If you've got any questions, if you type them into the chat box as we go. I can't see the chat box when I'm in my slides, but I will answer questions at the end if you have any. So just type them in as they come up. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm glad I put this slide in. Let's take a moment to breathe. Okay. Just take a moment to settle. And just ground yourself. I'm sure we've all had busy days. There's always a lot going on, particularly at this time of year. And it's easy to kind of get distracted and be thinking about other things. But you've tuned into this class, this session for a reason. So I invite you to dedicate all of your attention to this, to receive exactly what you need to receive, what you want to receive at this time. And just taking a couple of deep breaths in, just to really allow yourself to arrive in this session. And really this is about dedicating this time to your writing, to your book, to your journey as an author, wherever you are on that journey. So just really breathing into that. That's good. That's good. Okay. We could do that for the whole session. Really. Just, tuning into yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. But we will. We will dive in. So for those of you, I know some of you might be new to me. I know a lot of you aren't, so you will know a lot of this already, probably all of this already, but I just very briefly introduce myself. So I am Nicola Humber. I am the author of 2 books. So far, I'm in the process of writing at least 1 other book at the moment, maybe 2. Once you start the writing journey, this is kind of like a warning I have to give you. It's very unlikely that you will stop with 1 book. And it is like a calling. It's like you don't have any choice over it. I certainly didn't. I wrote my first book, Heal Your Inner Good Girl. That came out a couple of years ago now. And when I wrote that, I thought, right, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to give myself a bit of a break before I think about writing another book. But my second book, Unbound, started to come through very quickly after writing Heal Your Inner Good Girl. And I started writing Unbound a few months after publishing Heal Your Inner Good Girl, and that came out earlier this year. So they were quite different experiences writing both of those books. Unbound was... it was more like what I'm going to be sharing with you this evening. Okay, Heal Your Inner Good Girl. It was a quicker process. It's almost like Heal Your Inner Good Girl had to happen to clear the way for Unbound, and that can happen too on your writing journey. Not that Heal Your Inner Good Girl isn't, just, I love that book and I still get amazing feedback about that book, but it's like it was like a stepping stone to Unbound. Okay, so I'm the founder of the Unbound Press, which we have just launched today. It's a soul-led publishing imprint for female authors whose work activates transformation in other women. So that's something very new, and it's come out of writing my book Unbound. So this is the kind of magic, this is the kind of evolution that can happen with your writing. I very much see books as kind of portals, like these magical portals, and you never know where they're going to take you. I certainly wasn't expecting or planning to launch a publishing imprint, way back at the beginning of my author's journey, or even at the beginning of this year. This was not a plan, but it happened very naturally, very organically. So again, it's a bit of a warning to you. You do not know where your book is going to take you. I'm the creator of the Unbound Writing Mastermind, which I'll just be talking about a bit more later, and the Unbound Collective, which is my online membership for Unbound women. It's a space. Angie, who's on the call, Angie is a member of the Unbound Collective. There might be some more of you now. I can't see who's on the call at the moment. But it's a very special space. Again, a very alchemical space. So this is the kind of community that can grow around your writing as well, which again is something I'm going to be talking about later on. I am also a recovering good girl. My first book was called Heal Your Inner Good Girl, and it very much came from my own personal experience. I was the archetypal good girl in a lot of ways. Certainly when I was younger, probably really for the first kind of 30, 35 years of my life. It's only when I got into my late 30s that I started, excuse me, I have got this throat thing going on at the moment. It's only when I got to my late 30s that I started really following my own path. Before that, I was kind of following a path that was expected, doing things the way I thought they should be done. So I'm always looking out for like any good girl tendencies that may be bubbling up to the surface. And a lot of the women that I work with, will notice these kind of good girl patterns coming up. And they can show up in really subtle ways as well. So as well as all of that that's connected to my work, I'm obviously from the UK, but I split my time now between Southampton in the south coast, on the south coast of England, and Rochester in upstate New York, where I live with my husband, Mr. H. So at the moment I'm in the UK up until Christmas, be heading back to Rochester on Boxing Day. For any of our American friends, my American friends on the call, Boxing Day is the day after Christmas Day. So it's wonderful, you know, it's quite an unbound way of living, you know, being able to spend time in the two different countries, which I really love being able to do. Okay, let's dive in. So the 4 stages of unbound writing. And, you know, really what we're talking about here, as I said, is how to write the book you're really here to write. Okay, that book that is just waiting to come through you. So what's stage number 1? Commit. So we've talked about some of these stages, actually, particularly commit. If you've been doing the Unbound Writing Challenge this week, you know, I've been talking about the importance of like really making a commitment to writing your book and being the author of your book. So I wanted to share this quote with you. You might have heard this before. This is going to do my throat reading this one out. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness. Concerning all acts of initiative and creation, there is one elementary truth, the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events issues from the decision, raising in one's favour all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings and material assistance which no man could have dreamed would have come his way. Whatever you can do or dream, you can begin it. Boldness has genius, power and magic in it. Begin it now. Oh my goodness, I love that quote so much. So that's Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. And, you know, this really sums up the importance of this stage. Really is the most vital stage, because if you don't do this, if you don't make this commitment, you know, you probably will be able to write some kind of book, but it will not be the book. It will not be that really compelling, powerful book that is waiting to come through you, because we need to commit, you know, in order for all of this to happen, for, you know, providence to move too, for the universe to start moving in your favor, we need to make this commitment to our writing, and, you know, specifically to writing the book that we're really here to write at this time. So committing is really about, it's really making a declaration to yourself. It's making that commitment to yourself. Yes, I am choosing to do this now. And like I said, if you're in the challenge, I've asked you to do this week. It's kind of something, you make that initial commitment, but you will be recommitting to your book, to your writing practice over and over again. You know, all of these stages, we move backwards and forwards between them all. It's not like we move through them in a linear way. There's kind of a cyclical nature to them. So, you know, you make that commitment once, and that is the most important commitment, that initial commitment, but you will be recommitting over and over again throughout the writing process. It's all good. It adds these layers of commitment. What it does when you make this commitment, you know, you make it to yourself, and by making it to yourself, that kind of sends it out into the universe. And you may make more of a public declaration as well, which again, that adds to the power of the commitment. What it does, it removes doubt, and it creates this container for your book to unfold. So when I was writing my first book, Heal You're In a Good Girl, actually before I even knew it was called Heal You're In a Good Girl, when I made the decision, like this really clear commitment to write my first book, and I'd started many times before, but I hadn't made this really clear commitment. And I finally decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I just knew that I was going to write my book. This sense of commitment was so clear within, but I didn't really know what I was going to write about. I just knew that, yes, this was the time. And within a week of making that decision, I was out for a walk and the title, Heal Your Inner Good Girl, came through. It just came like a download. It was so clear, you know, because, you know, Providence started to move in my favor. It's like, yeah, she's ready now. She's made this commitment. Here comes the title. And then I knew from that point the kind of things that I would be writing about in the book. And yes, it evolved, but this is the power of making this really clear commitment, this really clear decision. You start to, you know, your book will start to come through to you. You start to get these ideas coming through. And this also involves choosing to inhabit your being as a writer, the author of your book, someone who has something of value to share. So the very act of making this commitment, you know, you're sending a message to yourself and out into the universe that you do have something of value to share, even if you don't fully believe that. Okay. And, you know, as we've spoken about, it's natural for fears and doubts to come up. But, yeah, this commitment, it helps you to move beyond those fears and doubts. And, you know, it will be unique to each of us how we choose to inhabit our being as a writer. You know, what does that mean to you? It might be obviously prioritizing your writing, having a regular writing practice. Maybe it's, you know, letting people know that you're writing a book and describing yourself as an author. It could be, you know, for me, it means having daily time in nature. That's really important to my writing practice. Okay. And prioritizing my self-care as well. And these are all important elements of it. So it's thinking about what that means to you. And you also want to decide what support you want to put in place, because writing can be quite a lonely activity, a lonely practice, if we choose to do it on our own. And when we're actually writing, yeah, you probably do want to be on your own. You want to be somewhere where you're not disturbed, unless you are able to kind of write with loads of people around you, then go you. But I think it's really important to have some kind of support in place. It may be one person that you choose to kind of talk about your writing with, or it may be a group of people where you're able to share, and not even necessarily your writing, but, you know, what's coming up for you in the process. Okay, so this is all about making a really strong commitment. You're creating that really strong container for your book to take form. Stage 2 is to conceive. So this is about, as I've said there, unlocking the book that wants to come through at this time. So I know that you are all amazing, multifaceted beings who could write any number of books, really, about any number of things. You know, I'm sure you have different things that you're passionate about, different elements of your experience that you could be sharing in your writing. But there is a very specific book that is wanting to come through at this time, that is the perfect time for it to come through. So this stage 2 of like conception, of conceiving that, allowing it to come through, is about tuning into that very specific book, like making space for that to happen. So like I said there, it's about writing the book, not just any book. So you want to provide the right conditions for conception, which might be something like spaciousness, allowing yourself to be inspired, what helps you to connect with that inspiration, what helps you to connect with your creative muse, being in that place of receptivity, which is really about, you know, noticing and honoring and trusting the ideas that come through for you. Okay. So I've like put a picture of nature there, because for me, when I'm in nature, that is when I am really able to connect and conceive with the ideas that want to come through me. That's personal to me, and I know that's the same for a lot of you as well. When I've been kind of reading the answers to your questions as you've been going through the Unbound Writing Challenge, a lot of you have talked about kind of being in nature and connecting with nature and how that helps you to feel more creative, more inspired. So it's thinking, what are the conditions that I need to create in order to conceive my book, you know, the book that wants to come through me. I think space is really important here, having that spaciousness and cultivating that in whatever way you can. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of space, but just having some space during your day where you're free of kind of distractions or busyness, and you can just really connect with your book. Now, I've mentioned, you know, before that we kind of move backwards and forwards between these stages. So, you know, certainly with conceiving your book, yeah, you start to get ideas coming through at the beginning of the process, and, you know, hopefully that's been happening for you already, but it will continue to evolve throughout the process. So I think, you know, sometimes people can think, I need to kind of have the whole idea for my book. I have to have it all mapped out. You know, some people will kind of encourage you to sit down and plan out your whole book at the beginning and kind of write out all the chapters. That doesn't work for me, and it doesn't work for a lot of the people that I work with, because we are unbound, and you want to leave space for the magic to happen. You want to leave space for this process of evolution. So it's good to be kind of connected to that initial idea of what you're writing about, and then you allow it, you leave space for it to evolve, and you gain clarity through writing. You're not waiting for everything just to fall into place, and it's like, okay, I know exactly what my book's going to be now, so I can start. You start to write, and that is how you gain clarity. You know, with both of my books, this happened. You know, what I've started out with, like the idea of, oh, okay, it could look like this. It's ended up being something completely different, both of them, particularly with Unbound. It would, because it's Unbound. But you know, you want to trust that process. So you're kind of conceiving it all the way through your writing, right up until the end. So the elements of all of these stages throughout the process. But this initial kind of conception, again, like the initial commitment, is really important, that we kind of make space and we create the right conditions for it, you know, to allow the most powerful version of your book to start to come through. Fantastic. Just checking time. Stage 3 is actually to create, to write your book. And like I said, you don't want to wait to create. You want to start creating, you know, even before you are clear exactly what you're going to be writing about. Just start to write, allow it to come through you. And, you know, once you've made that initial commitment, you've created the container, so you can trust that whatever is coming through is exactly what needs to emerge. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if it's not what you thought you would be writing about, once you've made the commitment and, you know, you've kind of conceived that initial idea, you will start to receive ideas that come through. Maybe you have conversations with different people that will kind of relate to what you're writing about, or you'll get a particular opportunity, or you'll notice kind of different themes coming up. And the key is to really trust that, you know, this is coming through for a reason, and to follow that, to kind of follow these, and Angie, you would have heard me say this before, these breadcrumbs of inspiration, even if you don't know exactly where they're going. It's really important, and this is a key skill of being unbound, is to allow the unknowing. you know, we allow ourselves to move forwards, even though we don't know exactly where we're going. And sometimes, you know, it may feel like there's nothing coming through, and you're in this place where it's like, actually, I just need to kind of be in the void, and I can't create at this time. And that's all good. You know, that's part of the process as well, because very often there's stuff going on under the surface. So creation is not kind of necessarily always about actively writing. Sometimes it's about, you know, allowing yourself to be in the unknowing, allowing yourself to be in the void. The key is to notice and to know when you're doing that, because, you know, out of fear and procrastination, and when it's actually part of your creative process. And that is something that comes through time as you build your awareness. So when you're in this creation stage, when you're creating, you do want to prioritize your writing. So we've talked about this in the challenge, divine discipline. So because we're unbound, we tend to resist structure and having a rigid plan. But what we can do is invoke the power of divine discipline, where we allow ourselves to be disciplined. We choose to be disciplined, and we see that as being in service to something greater. Okay. And your writing is in service to something greater. You know, if you are here, then your writing is going to be activating some sort of transformation in your reader. Okay. So your writing is going to be of service to something greater. So you can very easily actually invoke divine discipline and connect with that and allow that to kind of carry you through in your writing practice. We also want to be writing in alignment with our cyclical nature. Okay. So rather than just kind of rigidly deciding to kind of be in action every day, because that's kind of what we've been taught to do, and seeing our writing and our book writing as this very linear step-by-step process, we allow ourselves to ebb and flow according to our creative cycle, how we feel creatively. And again, you know, a key element of this is kind of noticing and knowing whether you are doing this out of fear and procrastination. And it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I think my cycle is telling me not to do any writing at the moment. You know, whether we're using it as an excuse or whether we are actually really working in alignment with our cyclical nature. And this is something we really dive into in the Unbound Writing Mastermind, actually. You know, we spend a good amount of time, a whole month, initially really tuning into your creative cycle and noticing the times that are most powerful for you to be writing, when it's most powerful for you to be reviewing and editing what you've written, the most powerful time for you to be planning what you're writing, the most powerful time for you to be maybe sharing your writing. You know, we really tune into that because there are a lot of subtleties to it. So what you want to be doing is to really allow and trust your unique process, because it will be unique to you. Okay. You know, how we create cyclically will be different for every single one of us. The way we react, the way we are influenced by the many different cycles that influence us. Yeah, there are some kind of general themes, but everybody responds differently. Okay, so you really want to get to know and to trust your unique process. Stage 4, community. So I love this picture. I wanted to share this picture with you. This is about creating a community or a movement around your book. And this is a picture of me and some amazing Unbound women who joined me on my Live Your Gift retreat in the summer. So this retreat was based on what I was sharing in my book Unbound, but the retreat actually took place before the book was released, just as the book was being released, actually, because, you know, I was already kind of creating a community around this new book that I was putting out there and sharing the magic from the book in different ways. So, you know, if you are in the challenge group, this is something we're going to be diving in tomorrow, really seeing the bigger vision for your book, seeing that it can be so much more than just a book. You know, there are lots of different, I say here, your book is a platform for other offerings and sharing your magic in different ways. So, you know, this could be retreats, it could be workshops, it could be different programs, it could be membership communities, it could be one-to-one work, it could be, you know, speaking opportunities. There are lots of different ways for you to be creating community around your book. And I am a really strong believer in, you know, you don't have to wait until your book is out there to start creating a community around it. You can start doing that right now, you know, right at the beginning of your writing process, or wherever you are in your writing process. You know, share your writing as you go. You can share small pieces of your writing. You can create blog posts around your writing. You can make videos. You can do Facebook Lives. You can run programs or workshops or retreats, you know, during the writing process. All of that actually gives you amazing information and inspiration to take back into like the creation stage and the conception, you know, conceiving stage. You will get the kind of most gorgeously rich ideas from interacting with other people around your writing, rather than choosing to do it in isolation and then at the end going, ta-da, here it is. You know, that can work. And it's kind of more what I did with Heal Your Inner Good Girl, because it was so new to me. But with Unbound, I was sharing it all the way along. Okay. And that was, you know, it was a dynamic process between myself and the community that I was creating around it. And, you know, it really helps you to anchor into your book and your work in the most magical way. Okay. When you're allowing other people to share it, to be part of it. And, you know, for me now, Unbound, it really does feel like a movement. Okay, because I've allowed other people into this journey long before my book was actually out there in the world. So you really want to celebrate your book, okay? And you don't have to wait until it's out there to celebrate it. Obviously, when it is out there, yeah, you can like have a big old party and you invite your community to it, but you are building an audience of readers as you go. So this community stage is really, really important, but it's one we can really resist, because it's like, oh, I'm not sure if other people will kind of get this, or will they really be interested? You know, all of these questions come up. And those questions will continue to come up until you allow yourself to share your writing. So I encourage you, if you wait until the book is written to do it, it's going to feel much bigger. Whereas if you share it as you go, you're getting feedback as you go. And, you know, when you're following this Unbound writing kind of process, this kind of spiral that we follow, then I can pretty much guarantee you're going to get amazing feedback for your writing, because you are writing in this really compelling way. So I want you to think, what kind of community do you want to create around your writing? Start to get excited about that. You know, this can really help to carry you through. And it's part, you know, it ties back in with the commitment stage, because, you know, you're not just making that commitment for yourself, you're making it for the community that you want to grow around your writing. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions about any of those stages, do share them in the chat box and I will come back to them. Okay. So, how do you write in a way that makes the most powerful impact? This is all about transformation and allowing yourself to be transformed by the very process of writing your book. So, I would say that all of you are writing a transformational book in some way, whether that's fiction or non-fiction. You can't help but be transformational in your writing, okay? But the transformation is not just for your readers. Okay, the actual process of writing is this dynamic process where you allow yourself to be transformed. So this can feel challenging because it means that you have to be willing to kind of go to your edges, to be like impacted by the writing process. So if you want to write a book that has impact on other people, you have to be impacted by the very process of writing about it. Otherwise, you know, your words will feel a bit flat. Okay, so you want to challenge yourself. You want, you know, we talked at the beginning about, you know, sometimes people might say, oh, yeah, we'll sit down and plan out your book and all the chapters you're going to write, so you know exactly what you're going to write. That is not likely to create transformation in you, because you know exactly where you're going with your writing. When you allow yourself to kind of be in the place of unknowing and allow what wants to come through all the way along, then, you know, that is transformational in itself. And, you know, you might be surprised about some of the things that are coming up for you. You may be challenged, and the idea of sharing it is challenging. But this is creating transformation for you. Okay, so you have to go first. You go first. You allow yourself to be transformed. And that creates the space for your reader to be impacted and transformed by your writing. Okay, so you have to experience something through your writing. You know, when I see things about kind of write a book in a weekend or whatever it is, it's like, okay, that's not going to be transformational. Okay, because you want kind of time to pass so that you are able to access different levels of yourself and what you want to express, and to recognize what's coming up around that, and to experience the challenge of it. And if you just rush through it, then that is not going to happen. So when you allow yourself to be transformed by your writing, it changes the energy of your writing. Okay, so this is like an energetic process. And this is the same with anything. It's the same, you know, with video. It's the same with speaking, you know, in person at events, or, you know, even working one-to-one. People can feel what you have experienced. You know, they can pick up on your energy, and they pick up whether you're just kind of going through the motions, or whether you are really, you know, you're really there with them. They can feel it. And, you know, your readers will be able to feel that in your writing. Okay, there will be something deeply compelling about it to the right people. So your book is not going to appeal to everybody. We don't want it to appeal to everybody, because, again, there will, you know, there's going to be a flatness to it if everyone's like, oh yeah, it's okay, I don't mind it, it's all right. You know, we want people to be like, oh my goodness, like you are speaking directly to me in your writing. They can feel it. They have an energetic response to it. And you have to allow yourself to be transformed and kind of challenged through the process in order for your readers to experience that. So this is an alchemical process. You know, you are transmuting your experience into gold. And we're not talking about it too much now, but all of the stuff that comes up around writing your book and sharing it with the world, all the fears, all the doubts, all of these old patterns, we are taking those and we are transmuting them, we're transforming them into the gold of compelling writing that makes an impact. So again, hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, if you've got any questions about that, do type them into the chat box. Okay. Fantastic. So before we move into Q&A, just checking the time, doing pretty well actually, I want to make an invitation to you. So I mentioned at the beginning that I was going to be opening the doors to the next round of the Unbound Writing Mastermind, and this is your invitation to join us. So the Unbound Writing Mastermind is a group experience. It happens online, and it's designed to unlock your unbound voice and write a book that transforms you as much as your readers, and to be really supported in that process. So you're not just going out alone. It's a 6-month process. The next round that I'm opening the doors to now, we start at the beginning of January. And it's designed to help you write your transformational book by the summer of 2019. So next summer. So the aim is that you will have your book pretty much ready by that point. It may just be the first draft of your book. It may be that it's actually ready to kind of go and be released in the summer of 2019. It's up to you. We all work at our own pace, and I don't want you to kind of rush it. But 6 months is a really good amount of time to at least get the body of your book ready. So you can be in this position, like coming towards the midpoint of next year, where you're like, yes, you're kind of ready to be putting it out there. So what we have during the Unbound Writing Mastermind, we have monthly group coaching calls. We have expert masterclasses. So that covers everything from, tuning into the concept and vision for your book, really unlocking your unbound voice, working in alignment with the principles of living unbound in your writing, building an audience for your writing, different publishing options. Basically, we cover every aspect of the writing process. We also have Unbound writing sessions where we come together on Zoom twice a month, and we have an hour where everyone just writes. So it's dedicated writing time, and it's so simple, but actually, the women who are in the current round of the writing mastermind, this is one of the most beneficial things that they find about the process. Is like coming together, having that kind of contained amount of time is so powerful for our writing. We also have weekly writing prompts and accountability. So, it's the whole package of support. And there's a special Facebook group where we will be. And if you have any questions that are coming up, any challenges or any insights you want to share, you're sharing them there. So I'm in the group every day as and when you need it. So you can find all the details at nicolahumbert.com/the-unbound-writing-mastermind. Go check it out. We're not starting till January. I'm opening the doors now because I wanted it to be, a really spacious period for you to make a decision about whether you want to join. But if you are ready to join us, the doors will be open until the beginning of January. But right now there is an inspired action price for you inspired action takers, and that's available until next Friday. So if you want to jump in, if you want to make the decision for yourself to get this support, and we will be opening up the group and just doing some pre-work in the remainder of the year to kind of keep you going. So you will be supported in between when you make the decision and when we actually start the process in January. If you want to make that decision, because I know that unmade decisions can be very draining, you can jump in now for a special price, which is available for the next week. And there's a pay in full price, and there is a payment plan as well. And also, I wanted to say there is a kind of a VIP level where you get one-to-one support. So that's all on the page, the invitation page, which you will be able to find there, nicolahumbert.com, the Unbound Writing Mastermind. And also, I wanted to say, I know quite a few of you who are interested in publishing your book through the Unbound Press. So if you're thinking about that, because we're going to be sending out some more details around that early next week, don't let that stop you making your decision, because anyone who joins the mastermind, it will be very simple for you to kind of upgrade and be able to publish your book through the Unbound Press. So you can join the mastermind first, and then we can decide whether the Unbound Press is a good fit for you afterwards. The first 2 people to join will receive a free VIP half day with me. So this is a session where we can really kind of tune into your book and spend some time tuning into the bigger vision for your book. So we get a sense of, you know, what it's going to be about, who it's for, and, you know, how you can start sharing your book and building your audience. And we will be also uncovering and shifting anything that's been holding you back until now. So those VIP half days, they'll probably be virtual, like over Zoom, I should imagine, unless you can get to Southampton before I head back to the States at Christmas. So really probably first 2 or 3 weeks in December. If you can get to Southampton, then we can meet in person and do it. But if not, we'll do it virtually. It's still just as powerful. So go take a look at that. And if you've got any questions about the mastermind, then let me know. I would love to see you over there. It's a very powerful process. It's a very magical process. And the women who are in the current round of the mastermind, you know, a lot of them getting to the point now where a good proportion of their book is written. Certainly, you know, some of them are kind of coming towards the end of their first draft, and actually being part of the experience has really helped them to have that sense of momentum. So go check it out. Okay, so we're going to go to Q&A, and to do that, I'm going to stop sharing if I can, and stop share. Yay. Okay. So has anybody got any questions? You can type them into the chat box and I will answer them for you. Hey, Sarika, good to see you. I'll give it a couple of minutes because it can take a little while. Did that make sense, what I was sharing for you there? Hopefully it did. And if you have questions that come up afterwards, or you're watching the recording and you've got any questions, then share them below the video and I will come back and answer them. Okay, well, it looks like there aren't any questions right now, but if there aren't, you can always share them over in the Facebook group anyway. Okay, my loves. Well, we will leave it there. I hope that has given you kind of the bigger picture of the writing process, and also giving you some permission to move backwards and forwards between those stages and not thinking you have to follow them in this really rigid linear way. Angie, you're saying not a question, but just to say talk was really inspiring and has helped my creative thought already. Oh, that's fantastic, Angie. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah, I think it's really keeping yourself in that unbound place, that inspired place, because, you know, a lot of the content we see, a lot of the information we can consume kind of goes against our own unbound nature. So it's really always bringing ourselves back to who we are and our fullest, freest selves, and allowing ourselves to write from that place, giving ourselves permission to write from that place. Okay, right. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. It's been really good to see you. I hope very much to see some of you in the mastermind, and yeah, hopefully publishing with the Unbound Press as well, which is very exciting. I will see you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And Sarika, happy Thanksgiving as well. Thank you for joining us at Thanksgiving. I really appreciate that. Okay, my loves. See you soon. Bye.